The wait has finally ended. The doors to the Indiana Fever's practice facility are officially opened. The moment that every basketball fan in the world has been waiting for has finally arrived. Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and the rest of the team are back inside the building. Training camp has begun. It's go time. But beneath the smiles, hugs, media day photo shoots, and seemingly flawless vibes promoted by the team's public relations department, a complicated, multi-layered tactical and cultural conflict is brewing on the hardwood. This is WNBA Heroines, the uncensored home for the best WNBA metrics on YouTube. Today, we're not only looking at highlight videos of players entering the gym. We're going to put together the full puzzle. We'll go into the hidden narratives, significant front office gambles, terrible relationship with the fan base, and massive tactical ramifications of the latest roster changes. We'll look at the secret weapon the Fever just unlocked, the enormous collective bargaining agreement risk they're taking, the psychological standoff between Caitlin Clark and head coach Stephanie White, and the shocking disrespect the front office has shown to the people who pay their bills. Grab your notes, settle down, and pay attention because we're about to get into the X's and O's, the business of sports, and the fragile ego of the Indiana Fever.
Okay, we got Kelsey, we got Sophie and KK back. Hey man, I'm ready for this, bro. I'm ready for the season to start. It's been, you know how much time we've waited to see Caitlin Clark back on the WNBA floor. I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited.
Let's start with visual proof from the first day of camp. Caitlin Clark's reunion with Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston is the collective sigh of relief that this devoted fan base urgently needed. Following a tumultuous offseason, rumors about Mitchell's future and the team's internal harmony persisted for months. Seeing them back on the floor together confirms an indisputable mathematical reality. From a personnel and talent sense, the Indiana Fever have the offensive firepower to compete with any dynasty in the league. Kelsey Mitchell is coming off a fantastic stretch of basketball, and her ability to complement Caitlin Clark's unparalleled gravitational pull forms the most devastating backcourt combo in the WNBA. When you have two guards who can pull up from 30 feet with ease and accuracy, the opposition defense is mathematically stretched beyond its limits. Opposing coaches are forced to make hard judgments in pick and roll coverage. You step forward to stop Clark. Mitchell chops the back door. You take a harsh stance against Mitchell. Clark draws from the logo. However, as every basketball purist knows, sheer talent does not win championships. Elite utilization of that talent occurs. And that takes us to the most intriguing under-the-radar acquisition to this group. Monique Billings is a player that was immediately identified in practice facility footage and has the ability to drastically change the geometry of the Fever's second unit.
Monique Billings, okay. Oh yeah, that's the connection right there. That's going to be, listen, Monique Billings is going to be huge for this team. You see Monique Billings and Caitlin Clark right here. Going to be a pivotal, going to be an important part of the team's success. We saw Monique Billings.
Most casual fans and mainstream media commentators regard the Monique Billings deal as a basic depth move. A seasoned player to chew up regular season minutes, provide locker room leadership, and collect rebounds. But if you are a true student of the game and watch the footage from Team USA's basketball camp just a month ago, you will see why this is a tactical masterstroke. To fully appreciate the Billings impact, we must first discuss the difference between vertical and horizontal spacing. Caitlin Clark is the ultimate historical master of horizontal spacing. By just crossing half court with a live dribble, she draws perimeter defenders horizontally away from the paint. Aaliyah Boston, on the other hand, provides superior post-gravity. She demands physical double teams on the block, forcing defenders to the baseline. But what the Indiana Fever sorely lacked last season was outstanding vertical spacing. They need a rim-running, explosive athlete capable of slipping a screen and catching lobs off the pick and roll at the apex of the jump. Enter Monique Billings. Clark and Billings made a quick, natural, and lethal pick-and-roll connection during Team USA training camp. Clark requires a big who can roll to the hoop with fervor and play above the rim. Billings gives just that. If the coaching staff realizes this, Clark Billings' high pick and roll should become a cornerstone of the Fever's transitioning attack. It allows Aaliyah Boston to take a much-needed break while maintaining inner pressure. It's a perfect tactical match, and seeing them reconnect on the first day of camp is a huge sign of this team's offensive potential. However, for every step forward, this front office appears to take two enormous, unforced, perplexing steps back. This takes us to the most risky, questionable roster move of the whole offseason. It involves a player named Justine Pat. To understand why this is a possible tragedy, we must first examine the complex regulations of the WNBA's new collective bargaining agreement.
Here it says this is courtesy of Robin Lundberg, Sports Illustrated. What Justine Pisot's developmental deal says about Indiana Fever's roster plan. Okay, the Indiana Fever signed one of their WNBA draft picks to a developmental contract. Okay, the Indiana Fever made some noteworthy selections in the WNBA draft. The Fever took point guard Raven Johnson of South Carolina with the 10th pick in the first round.
The Indiana Fever drafted Justine Pat, a 6'4" excellent shooter from Vanderbilt. Drafting a 6'4" stretch forward was an excellent piece of scouting for a team in severe need of size, length, and floor spacing at the power forward position. Instead of putting her on the usual 12-woman roster to protect their asset, the Fever front office just revealed that Pat has been signed to a developmental contract. Here's a smart explanation for why this is a dangerous gamble that could backfire. Under the new CBA, teams can now carry 2 developmental players in addition to their regular roster. These players can practice with the club, travel, and be activated for up to 12 games without affecting the extremely tight pay cap. On paper, it appears to be an excellent way to save money. However, there is one hugely obvious flaw that no one is mentioning. Developmental players are basically unprotected free agents. They are not tied to your franchise. If Justine Pat goes out in the preseason and hits 3 or 4 triples, she will have proven herself to be a true 6'4" floor spacer at the professional level. Literally any WNBA team can come in, offer her a regular contract, and sign her. The New York Liberty, the Las Vegas Aces, and the Connecticut Sun, all title contenders who recognize the ultimate significance of shooting size, can grab her right out from under Indiana's nose. Why is Indiana taking such a significant risk with a player whose skill set perfectly matches their worst weakness? Because they mishandled their roster construction by accumulating undersized guards. The Fever are currently experiencing a terrible logjam in the backcourt. They selected Raven Johnson, a 5'8" defensive specialist. Despite already possessing Tasha Harris, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hall, they chose redundancy at the guard position over signing a 6'4" shooter on a guaranteed contract. In today's WNBA, spacing equals oxygen. You cannot operate a high-efficiency offense if your power forward is unable to shoot threes. If the opposition 4 can safely sag off their assignment and pack the paint, Aaliyah Boston will face suffocating triple teams throughout the season. Pat was the ideal insurance policy for that specific occasion. Putting her on an unprotected developmental contract while keeping 6 guards is a clear misallocation of cap space. If a rival team poaches her in 2 weeks, the Fever front office will have only themselves to blame. However, the roster construction is merely a symptom of a much larger and more severe disease afflicting this franchise. This leads us to the ultimate elephant in the room. The players are back. The media is recording the smiles. What happens when the cameras are turned off, the doors are locked, and the first practice whistle sounds?
Clark at small forward, best believe I'm going to address it. But up until then, I'm going to root for Raven Johnson the same way I root for all the Indiana Fever players to play well, because I root for Caitlin Clark. So I hope Raven Johnson is out there locking people down, making spot-up jump shots, passing Caitlin Clark the ball, and getting the hell out of her way. So I'm going to root for her until further notice, okay? Now, here it says,
we spent the previous week delving into head coach Stephanie White's frightening comments. If you've been paying close attention to the exact terminology used by this coaching staff, the image is more than just disturbing. It's a tactical nightmare. The Indiana Fever aren't just toying with the idea of moving Caitlin Clark off the ball. They are actively and purposefully assembling a team designed to place the best playmaker in women's basketball history as a small forward. Allow me to join the dots for you, as the breadcrumbs have been falling for over a year. Following the selection, Stephanie White came to the microphone and classified her guard rotation using extremely specific, telling terminology. She described Tasha Harris as a combo guard. She described Caitlin Clark as a player who can play both on and off the ball. Crucially, She described youngster Raven Johnson as a legitimate point guard. When a head coach officially identifies a defensive-minded rookie as the genuine point guard while relegating her generational MVP-quality superstar to a versatile wing player, we can no longer guess the strategy. The strategy is in place. The Fever are planning to implement a perimeter rotation in which Johnson runs the 1, Mitchell or Harris runs the 2, and 6-foot Caitlin Clark moves to the 3 slot. This gets us to an important basketball understanding. The myth of the true point guard in today's heliocentric basketball, Stephanie White's quest for a true point guard to set the table reflects a basketball philosophy stuck in 2004. When you have a heliocentric superstar, the classic pass-first point guard who just launches the offense and gets out of the way is completely obsolete in today's game. Check out Luka Doncic. Look at LeBron James. Look at Nikola Jokic. These are players who do not match the typical definition of a 5-foot, 10-point guard. Nonetheless, they are the uncontested major playmakers.
Why?
Because when you have a player with that much gravity, court vision, and scoring potential, putting the ball in the hands of a traditional point guard hurts your offense. It moves the ball away from the most dangerous player on the court. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's ideal heliocentric center. Taking the ball out of her hands is the same as purchasing a Formula One race vehicle and forcing it to carry groceries in a school zone. Yes, the car is physically capable of doing it. She has a lifetime three-point shooting percentage of 34%. She can stand in the corner and spot up, but you are entirely neutralizing the asset that makes her a generational outlier. Let's take a look at the domino impact on Aaliyah Boston. If Raven Johnson, an outstanding defender but a low-volume perimeter shooter, drives the ball up the court, the defense sags, drops below the three-point line, packs the paint, and clogs the driving lanes. The Clark-Boston pick-and-roll is particularly effective because Clark's shooting gravity draws the opposing center out of the paint, allowing Boston a wide, unobstructed path to the basket. If Clark stands in the corner as a decoy, the gap vanishes completely. Stephanie White is attempting to address a perimeter defense issue, but in doing so, she is stifling her franchise center in the paint. It's tactical malpractice. The numbers from last season are undeniably compelling. When Caitlin Clark was the primary ball handler launching the offense, the Indiana Fever had a plus 6.4 net rating. They played with speed, fluidity, and great efficiency. When she lost control of the ball, the offense devolved into a league average, predictable jumble. So, since the numbers and basketball geometry both indicate that this is a horrible concept, why is the Indiana Fever front management so fixated on it? This necessitates an investigation of the psychology of sports management. What we're seeing in Indianapolis is a perfect example of the system versus superstar complex. Coaches and general managers are naturally driven by ego. They want to be recognized as architects. Stephanie White admires the Dawn Staley school of basketball. Low-scoring, highly disciplined, defensive dogfights. When a front office inherits a player like Caitlin Clark, whose talent transcends any playbook, the coaching staff experiences an identity problem. If the Fever win a championship by allowing Caitlin Clark to shoot logo threes and throw full-court transition passes, the narrative will always be that Clark won the ring. But if Stephanie White can push Clark into a structured, defensive-minded system, and if she can win games 72-65 by putting Raven Johnson at point guard, the story will shift to Stephanie White's excellent method winning the ring. They are attempting to demonstrate that their culture and system are bigger than the superstar. It is the same hubris that has before torn apart empires. And this arrogance, this complete reluctance to accept the reality of what they have, flows straight into how this front office treats the people who pay their salaries, the fans.
The Timmons, okay? So they have officially put Justine Pissott on a developmental deal. But hey, the team is back. Everybody is back, ready to go. Okay, ready to lock back in. I'm excited for this. I'm ready for some games to start getting playing. Stephanie White,
You cannot discuss the Indiana Fever's tactical tragedy without also discussing the cultural calamity that occurred off the court. While the coaching staff is fighting to keep their superstar under control, the executives are targeting the fans. Lynn Dunn, The franchise's senior advisor and architect recently turned to Twitter to post a profoundly offensive manifesto psychoanalyzing the fan base, effectively labeling them as malevolent complainers who ruin team culture. This is a 78-year-old basketball great ordering the WNBA's most passionate, economically powerful fan base to sit down and be silent. The Fever fan base is not your typical sports fan following. The vast majority came because of Caitlin Clark. They purchased the $130 jerseys. They purchased the League Pass subscriptions. They provided funding for the new $78 million training facility. And when they raised legitimate analytical worries about the team picking another tiny guard rather than a forward, or the coach moving Clark off the ball, they're doing exactly what engaged customers do. They're defending their investment. The term complainers reflects a fundamental misunderstanding of a sport's economic model. If you order a premium steak at a restaurant and the chef serves you burnt toast, you complain. You do not expect the manager to hand you a pamphlet outlining the 4 sorts of complainers. The sheer boldness of Lynn Dunn's tweet reveals an organization that is entirely disconnected from reality. And the rot does not end there. We also witnessed WNBA veteran Erica Wheeler decide that now, in the midst of an 800% pay raise sponsored directly by these new fans, was the ideal time to criticize middle-class Americans. She went online and said that people are only jealous because they don't earn $150,000 each year. Did a professional basketball player really use a 6-figure salary as an insult to working-class fans who save for months just to get nosebleed tickets? This is a cultural problem. You have a head coach discussing moving the best point guard in history to small forward. Kelly Krakoff, the team's president, compares the team to Apple rather than addressing basketball difficulties. Lynn Dunn, a senior advisor, refers to the fans as malevolent complainers. And you have a veteran player, Erica Wheeler, criticizing the financial situation of the ticket buyers. 4 tiers of an organization, each alienating its fan base. All project a tremendous superiority complex. All in 1 week. Training camp is more than just getting players into physical form. It's the ultimate psychological battlefield. Who will bring the ball up the court when the starters play their first 5-on-5 scrimmage this week? Who is dictating the tempo? Stephanie White faces a big decision in the coming weeks. She can either be the architect of the most explosive, unstoppable offense in WNBA history by entirely delegating to Caitlin Clark, or she can be the coach who valued her own defensive philosophy and ego over the undeniable truth of modern basketball. The Women's National Basketball Association is rapidly evolving. The Liberty and Aces are fine-tuning dynasties. And, as the rest of the league adjusts to the future, the Indiana Fever front office is aggressively combating its own superstars' play styles and their own supporters. This is the WNBA Heroines. We don't sugarcoat it, and we won't back down. We're exactly 22 days away from the regular season. The conversation is over. The ball is bouncing across the hardwood, and this is where legacies are made or ruined. I'd like to hear from the true basketball geniuses in the comments area today. Forget the PR spin. Let's discuss reality. Do you believe that shifting Clark to position 3 eliminates Aaliyah's Boston spacing? Do you think the front office's arrogance will wreck this championship opportunity before it even begins? What are your thoughts on Lynn Dunn and Erica Wheeler disrespecting the fans? Please provide your most detailed insights in the comments section below. I read each one of them. Smash the subscribe button. Click the notification bell to ensure you don't miss our training camp analysis later this week. And as always, maintain the vision alive. We'll see you in the next deep dive.